Welcome back to Gaming Assembled. Today's part 6 of our 867 Orvieto roleplay series. Thank you for joining us. Before we start, we'd love to hear from you. So like, comment and subscribe to the channel and interact with us on social media. And thank you to Silence Mode On and Star Era for subscribing already. Let's get started. Okay, so welcome back to Orvieto. Let's dive back into what we were doing. Now again, it seems like quite a long time since I was playing this. Obviously, I've played quite a lot of the Game of Thrones mod lately with the launch of that and things, but we're going to come back to this and we're going to do a little bit more and move our quest further forward. So, to remember where we are, we had recently been trying to take some action. Previously, bad things had happened to us. We'd had this realization that we can't just stand by and let the realm fall to pieces. The realm is completely riddled with sin and things. And although, I mean, as it's been pointed out to me in the comments, although Count Theophylact is a very zealous Christian, he believes in God, he is very keen to spread the gospel, so to speak, and to order the realm, bring it into the Christian light and all this sort of stuff. And this is what we're trying to do. We're not trying to, as I say, necessarily paint the map our colour. We are trying to rescue it from its sins, basically, from the bad rulers that have taken over. Ultimately, our king, who is not a Christian king in the slightest, the Duke, who is our liege, again, is an atheist. You know, there seems to be lots of them, really, you know, vindictive people, grasping people, who else we got? Villains. You know, there's people who just really, really shouldn't. I mean, there are one or two good ones, you know, but there are lots of them who really, really shouldn't be ruling. And this is the point, really. And so our quest really is not so much about, as I say, trying to turn the map, the colour of the flag of Orvieto. It's about us being diligent in our beliefs to restore some Christian values to the realm and to save the realm from itself. That is what we're about, and that's what we're trying to do. And so what we've been talking about, and it was a very interesting comment in the comments about that, about how we are particularly zealous perhaps, but we're not necessarily very pious. We believe in God, etc., as I've just been saying, but we're not particularly someone who is auditioning for Pope. You know, we're not particularly trying to live by doctrine and, you know, a monk with a sword. That's not who we are. But we're willing to work with people who are not necessarily good, you know, the perfect Christian, but we don't want them in a ruling position. We don't want them, you know, to necessarily be dictating policy. It's about trying to put some values back into our realm and rescue the realm from the decay that it's fallen into. And this is sort of our conduit for doing that. Hopefully that kind of makes sense. So, there was a couple of things pointed out in the comments that I want to address. The first one is with our spy master. So she likes us a little bit. We absolutely hate her. Partly because of our traits, partly because of the fact that she's craven and her traits and things like that, and that she's hideous. Partly because she's an Orthodox Christian. So, one thing we could look at doing is getting her to convert, and that's the first thing. We'll work with other people, we'll work with other faiths to a certain degree-ish, maybe, but really, ideally, we want them to be Catholic, and that's what we're about. You know, if we absolutely have to work with someone else, a different branch of Christianity, fine, maybe, but they're astray, as it says there. They're not really what we're after. So we want them really to be Catholics, ideally. And so let's try and do that and bring that into our way of working. The second thing is that we were talking about, in the comments, about this idea of justice. We hold quite a lot of secrets. And although we're not necessarily a cruel person, we're not out for blackmail, we're out to try and destabilize the people who are the people who we're trying to remove from power. So what we're going to do is we're going to expose all our secrets that we know. And the idea then is that although that's probably not going to make us very popular with a lot of these people, the idea is that we can hopefully stir up a little bit of rebellion for people like the king, and we can try and move things forward in terms of restoring the realm to something like. And that is what we're going to try and do. So we're just going to expose all those secrets. And so now, hopefully, that will be quite good. So he really doesn't like us now. It's minus 30 for that. So hopefully that will cause him some problems. And people, his vassals and people will start to see him a little bit less favourably. So, there we go, minus 5 for adulterer and things like that. There's things like that that should hopefully, once they tick through, should make a significant difference to the way people see them, perhaps. And that's the idea. So, in terms of where we go, let's just tick through these. We've just exposed that many secrets. I don't think there was anything left on there. Who's that? We can go to war with him if we so wish. And that's possibly something we would do, actually. He's not a Christian even. He's Norse. He's a pagan. Yeah, let's do that. Let's start with that for today's episode. So let's take a little bit of land. Let's do a holy war. There we go. And that's certainly something we would do. We wouldn't just stand by and... there we go, we'll take some money, we'll invest that. But we certainly wouldn't stand by and have a load of pagans, dirty pagans over the way. So definitely bring that on. And that'll give us a bit more land, a bit more power to be able to look at trying to eat away at the realm of our corrupt leader, our duke, and we can then try and seize that power for ourselves. And use that power then for some good, as I say, to try and reshape the realm into something like it should be. So, okay, so that's that battle won. Let's just speed this up a little bit. They're going to throw themselves at us a couple of times. My spy master has come to me with grave news. While we do not yet know who, someone is plotting to kill my guest John. Okay, well, that's bad for John. He's very much a kindred spirit to us. Could try and recruit him, I suppose. Is there a need? He'd be a better Chancellor than the one we've got, so how much is it going to cost us? 40. Why not? Why not? So let's recruit him and we'll make him our Chancellor. I could have just done that with the Mayor, and that probably would be more to our advantage, although we'll make the Mayor our Steward instead. I could go with my player heir actually for that. There we go. Is there anyone else? So, no, he's probably about the right one there. And, well, I'll tell you what, we'll swap that round. We'll make my player heir my steward. That other fella can just get lost. And we'll have... who is he? He's the mayor, isn't he? I don't care whether he likes us. Mind you, John's only just as good, and we get a... Yeah, he'll like us better. Yeah, we'll leave it like that. That makes sense, I suppose, doesn't it? Everyone's Catholic. That's all good. We've got a decent council looking at that. Very nice. Anyway, back to the war. Scheme at court. Yeah, we've done that. Dealt with that. Brilliant. Okay. We brought him in. Maybe we can shelter him from his from being murdered, but we shall see. I have heard good things about you. I am interested in starting written conversation. Hope this letter finds you willing, for I am awaiting your swift reply. Okay, yeah, he's our sort of guy. He's zealous as well. Does he have anybody who would be interested in an alliance, perhaps? He's got 1,300 men. He's very much of a kindred spirit to us. Would he be interested in a betrothal to us somewhere? Do we have anybody older? My daughter's only fairly young. Oh, that's a shame. He's got a young sister who is a dwarf. I'm not bothered about that. I mean, do I have a nephew or anyone I could... No. Well, anyway, we'll start sending letters. Maybe that'll help. Start exchanging letters. Brilliant. We're still fighting these. Thank you for your swift response. I'm looking forward to correspondence. Please implore you pick the first subject to discuss. Well, we're both zealous, so we could look at something. Court politics. Latest gossip. Send a gift to show my appreciation. Well, I was hoping for something religious themed in terms of the options, because that would have been an obvious one. So he's content zealot. Well, we'll go with court politics. We're both rulers. We'll see what that gives us. Espionage lovers. While performing her duties as my spymaster, Agatha has uncovered a secret held by Duke Bonifacio of Corsica. Right, so it's the guy who controls the rest of this. He has secretly taken Giuditta, the daughter of Count Bethari of Brescia, as a lover. Okay, so useful to know. Can I do anything with that secret? Schemer discovered. My spymaster has come from great news. It is Knight Castor that is plotting to kill John. Why is he doing that? Can I tell him to give up? Maybe, no. It'd be useful if I could. Tell him to just give up with it. That'd be nice. Schemes. Oh, we've got another secret. Let's expose them. Expose all our secrets. Maybe I could have used that better. I don't know. Never mind. But, alright. The obnoxious fiend. Well, fair enough. We'll keep an eye on it. He'll probably end up succeeding, but maybe now that it's known, he'll not. To think you would want to ask a subject so dear to me, and truly you know me better than most. Since you have indulged me so, I must ask if there's anything I can do for you. Trade deal. So that would give us an extra 5% on holding taxes. Continue exchanging letters. We'll go with trade deal. Very nice. Well worth a letter. Loyalty or fear. As they count, my vassals owe me their allegiance. My word is law. But how much is obedience without devotion worth? In times of crisis, a slow response or a half-hearted effort can lead to disaster. Can I afford such a risk? So I will win their unwavering even, loyalty. So I gain generous liege, and I get less taxes, but they get more opinion of me. Fear is a far more effective tool. So the mayor potentially gets wounded. I gain some dread. Or more important men to impress. So I gain something of our... No, I'm not bothered about impressing him because we don't like him. Well, that sucks that I'd lose a bit of taxes, but I think maybe that's the way I would go. That's certainly the Christian way to go. We'll go with that. They're still just throwing themselves at me, these Norsemen. Right, so Nicholas comes of age. Looks a bit feminine, don't you think? But, okay. So, with his coming of age, my tuition of Nicholas is at an end. With sufficient tutorage, even a child that has displayed little natural inclination towards diplomatic influence, such as Nicholas, can come to truly understand it. A true silver tongue, he could sway the opinion of counts and kings alike. When he speaks, the court listens in enraptured silence. And he has already got a betrothal, and that's the one... Who is she? Alright, so she was the alliance for the guy who died, wasn't it? That's right. Okay, right, fair enough. Although we don't have that alliance anymore, she's still a decent wife for him. She's, the right sort of person. That's fine. Oh good, very good. So he gains a grey eminence trait. Brilliant. So they can marry, that's good. This war is over. So did we get any prisoners? So, little Norse girl. I think she's no use to us, but what we would want to do, I think, can we not ask her to convert? Negotiate release? No. Okay. I was hoping I could convert her. Ransom, maybe? No. So I think we'd want to try and do that. But maybe we can't for whatever reason. Is she... I don't know. I don't know why we can't try and convert her. He is no particular use to us. Can we... see, the option's missing to convert people. That's it's a bit odd. Okay, well, we'll leave them in there for now, and we'll see if there's a reason why we can't. Maybe we need to bring them back. Maybe they're with the army still. Maybe that's the problem. So, who is she? She's my marshal's wife. Why is she in prison again? Can't remember. Must have done it last time. Well, why did I arrest her? I don't know. What did she do? Well, she must have done something for me to want to arrest her. So I could banish her, which will mean I get a lot of money. So that's one thing. I could move her to house arrest. I could torture her. I could execute her. I don't think I'd do any of those. I could just get a weak hook on her, but that's not going to do me anything. I think we're just, if she must have done something wrong, I can't remember what it was, we'll banish her. We get the money, which is not really about the money, but we're removing someone who has broken the law from our realm, and that seems to be a sensible thing to do. Right, so we've taken that land. We are still not up to our domain limit, so that's fine. A couple of mayors want to be on the council but are not. That's less of a bother to me. Okay, so these guys, and he's not Norse, neither is he. So that's fine. So we've got a bit more land now. We've taken some from the Dirty Heathens. This guy here, so he is the last, we took his last piece of territory over there. We've still got a truce on him. We have a claim on our neighbour here, but he's our ally, so we're not going to do anything to him. Who is his heir? His heir is a bold ravener who's been excommunicated, so maybe that'll be when we use our claim on that land when he takes over. He's probably not long for this world, and his heir is not fit to rule, so fair enough. We'll look at dealing with that then. Do we have a claim on that? No, we don't, but I think we start to move that way. So we'll look at taking that. And in terms of the other vassals, Analytic Ravener, there's nothing particularly negative about him. There's nothing particularly positive about him either. So he gives to charity, so maybe that's a positive in his favour, but okay, fair enough. So let's carry on. We, I suppose, are waiting for... How long we got on that? 4 years left for that one. Every man for himself. The forceful knock on the door clears every bit of drowsiness from my mind. Who disturbs the Count at this hour? My late night visitor is none other than Christian. I have to speak with you privately, away from listening ears. I have discovered something very interesting. Christian has uncovered a secret of Bernard's. He's willing to share it with me if I let him off the hook. So Christian is obviously my son. I've got a weak hook on him because he's obviously part of our dynasty and whatever. He's our player heir. So he is our marshal. It's his wife who we've just banished. So that's fine. So, after this will owe me no longer, so he likes us a bit more, and I get a secret about Bernard. Fine, we'll do that. Attempted murder secret. So we probably knew that already. He was trying to murder John, I think, wasn't he? Oh, attempted murder of Trudy. Well, I think certainly, he's a zealot, so he should know better. What we could do is expose it, and then we've got reason to arrest him. I suppose we'd be a bit of a hypocrite if we didn't. Obviously, there's a bit of badness happening in this family, so I think we'll do that. It's a bit of a blow for the realm in the sense that we. I thought we'd be able to arrest him. Maybe we can't. Maybe we should have used the hook for that. But I don't know. Never mind. Well, we've lived up to our morals at least. He's a non-believer. I don't know who he is. Just a guest at the King's Court. We'll expose that and annoy him as well, probably. Hooks that I hold. I've got a hook on this guy, on my mare. Anything I can do with that? Don't really want to imprison him. Not bothered about arranging a marriage with him. Offer a ward. I don't think there's anything I can do with that. It's not really significant enough for me to want to do anything with that, really. Okay, fair enough. Right, so we've got this. Have we gone down that one? Yes, we have. Learning language power. Each alliance grants +1 to our diplomacy, foreign affairs effectiveness, and ducal conquest. That probably makes sense. Let's go with that one. So, okay. So, that might mean that we can, at some point, take a duchy. That will probably help us with that, won't it? Numerology. A beggar sitting on the ground beckons me over. The local villagers say that despite her poverty, the old woman has powers of prophecy, and her predictions are often accurate. Ah, Count Theophylact. It's an honour to meet you, she says. I tell you what, if you give me a few gold coins, I can predict a bit of your future. A good deal, yes? And how would you do that, I ask? It is simple. Just tell me your date of birth, and based on the numbers I can tell not only your personality, but parts of your future as well, she explains. I learned this science of numerology from a wise hermit. Well, it sounds a bit pagan to me in all this, and we're supposed to be a bit of a devout Christian, but I don't know. Maybe that's taking it a little bit too seriously. She's just a woman sat on a street corner wanting a bit of coin, and maybe we see that's the real point, really. She just give her a bit of money. We're helping the charity of someone else. So we get a good prediction, and that's fine, and we gained a little bit of piety for helping her. That's very nice. See, it was the right thing. It was a good thing to do. Spymaster secret uncovered. Let's have a look. No. I don't know. Let's have a look. What's that say? You learned that Queen Teutonberga of Lotharingia has a deviant secret. Exposed secret. There we go. So, child of my dynasty. My daughter-in-law Maria has given birth to a son. Okay, so... Lucio. Yes, very good. So, this is my player heir. So this will be us someday. Lucio. Giorgio. Yes, Giorgio Toscalini. Apologies, for that. That wasn't the best, but there you go. But it sounds a very Italian name anyway. We'll go with that. My Italian listeners, I apologise. Anyway. So, prowl through some documents, ain't it right? So we've got our claim. There we go. Lovely, we'll do that. So, let's move our troops over here. Our muster point. We could as well. We're up to 2 of 2. We've got plenty of money. That's fine. I was going to say if we hadn't got our full complement of men at arms, we could do something about that. Let's have a quick check at our knights. So we've got our marshal, vassal. We've got a few knights, not particularly the best. Let's bring him in. We've got some money to do it. So we've got an extra one there. I probably should have looked at who he is. He's an evil atheist. We probably shouldn't have brought him in. Maybe we can try and do something better with him. But, there we go. So, misstep there. But we'll have to try and finish him off or get rid of him at some point. But who are you? I've no idea. But you're dead. Oh, he's died in my dungeons. There we go. Can I convert you yet? Yes, I can. I can demand conversion. So, I don't think there's any money to be gained from her or anything to be gained. I obviously needed to bring her back to my jail. That's what it was. My army was still in the field. She was with the army. That's what it was. So, demand conversion. She can leave. Excellent. We've redeemed her from being a dirty pagan. So, let's take this land. Let's go to war. There we go. March in and tell you what we'll do. Deft diplomacy. My Chancellor Mayor Momolos has worked hard to convince our neighbouring realms and vassals that the peace treaty I entered with the Duke of Bonifacio of Corsica, basically, is flawed, illegitimate and unfair to me. I am once again free to declare war on him as I please. Incredible work. Excellent. What I was going to say is I was going to give the army to that other guy, the guy who I've just misstepped and hired, and I can't remember which one he is though now, and hopefully he'll get killed, but never mind. We'll just win the war, it's fine. Enemy combatants captured, child of my dynasty. So this is my other son. This is Nicholas's son. No, Nicholas's daughter, even. So, Juliana. Yeah, why not? Have I got any kids that are in need of a guardian or an education trait? Have I done that? Educate child. I'm already doing that, I think. Yes, I am. No, I'm not. So you need that. You've already got martial heritage. Let's see. How about you? Have you got a guardian? No. We'll do that. You're well and truly in need of one. Daughter. Yeah, there we go. So I was up to date with that. It's just the last 2 that I've not quite got yet. But that's fine. They've already got their education traits. I think this is a better way of doing that. So I'm not sort of stacking the deck, so to speak. But, okay, so they're coming back round, they're going to just charge at us again, like that, and we'll win, and that's the siege won. Have we got anybody that we can, are they any good to anybody? Ooh, physician, you might be useful. Well, we'll win the war. In fact, I wonder. Let's just see what happens. If I bring my troops back here, she can no longer continue on. Ah, Lothaire's died, so the king is dead. Who is now? Ah, the queen. Slightly better ruler, but her heir is not a Carling anymore. So there we go. Right, so let's pin her to my board. Let's remove the king. So that's fine. Task aborted. That'll be why, because the court has changed hands and it's no longer his court to spy in. Find secrets. Let's find them in our duke's court. That sounds like a good idea. Now I've brought my army back. There we go. So the prisoners are back at home. You, we can recruit because that might be useful. I don't know. I can't remember if we've got a court physician, but you're a trained physician. We might as well have you. Court physicians. That's what we're looking at. Court physician. So, right. So he's a physician as well. So, although not as good. So maybe we swap you out. So he's aptitude poor, he's average. So, right, we'll swap out. We've got a slightly better physician out of that war. The other guy I'm not bothered about, but we'll probably just let him go. We're not about, I mean, he's no threat to us. He's no particular use to us either. He's already a Catholic. Fine. Get a weak hook on him, but not really got anything to gain from having that hook, but there you go. So, that is that. Now, we can look at getting a claim on this land. I don't think we've got one already. And so, obviously, we're increasing our holdings, we're increasing our power. We can now have a maximum of just over 1,100 men. We get this territory. That will give us a little bit more still. Might be worth even us investing in maybe a barracks or something like that. Or maybe we get walls and towers or something like that, or farms and fields, and get a little bit more income perhaps. Maybe that's better. But we can look at doing that. But I think we'll leave it at that for today. I think we're continuing on with this idea that we're saving the realm, as I said. We've made some progress towards that. We've increased our power. We'll look next time at trying to finish off, so we're controlling the island of Corsica. And obviously we've got this realm here, this land here that we took from the Dirty Heathens. We've taken this land here as well. We'll look at taking that. I think once our ally has died, which I say 63, he'll not be long now, I don't think. His health is poor, he's ailing, and his heir is, as I say, excommunicated and denounced, and so therefore we've got more than enough reason to use our claim, which I can't remember how we got that, but we've got that. So that gives us all justification in our roleplay sense that we need to take that land as well. And then what that leaves is our Duke, who there's his lands, he's got his 2 provinces, and there's this one here. I mean, I don't think there's a reason to take him on, to take his lands away from him. I don't think we can justify that. He seems reasonable enough, and it doesn't look particularly bad. Maybe we can, on the traits here, there's one that you can get where you can get an alliance without needing a family thing. I don't know where it is. If you know, let me know. But maybe that's something we could do. Maybe we could get an alliance with him. Or maybe we just set up a faction or something like that. I don't know. We'll find a way forward with him. Maybe we just ignore him. He's relatively minor. you know, in terms of his power in itself. I might have just missed it there entirely, but I mean, he's only got 285 men. It's not going to make a massive difference whether he's with us or against us, really. But you know, I think if we can get to a point where we're sort of getting up to we're not far off having equal men to the Duke, and I think if we're taking that land and we're taking that land, I think that'll do the job. We should have enough troops then to make a bid for taking his title and becoming a duke in our own right. We could go independent and, you know, form the Duchy of Corsica and do it that way, and then just, you know, attack him from there. Whatever, we'll find a way. But I think we're on a good track. I think the story is coming along nicely. Let me know what you think. As ever, comment, share your thoughts, what we could do different, how we could go further. Other than that, please like the video. If you're not subscribed to the channel already, please do. Have a look at my other series as well. Otherwise, I hope you've enjoyed this, and as ever, I will see you in the next one. Take care.